Welcome back, everyone, to Lesson by Lesson, A Course in Miracles. We are in the midst of our deep dive into this fascinating spiritual text.
Yeah.
And today, we are taking on Lesson 29.
Mm.
You know, last time,
Mm-hmm.
we were looking at how our perceptions really shape our reality.
Right.
And that was a pretty powerful lesson. This one, Lesson 29. It really takes it a step further, sort of flips the script on where we look for happiness.
It really does.
How we find it.
It's a real paradigm shift.
Yeah.
Instead of, always chasing external things to make us happy, this lesson is saying, look, you can cultivate happiness from within.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an inside job.
Yeah.
But the Course isn't just talking about positive thinking, is it?
Exact. Not just positive thinking. It's really about looking at some of these assumptions
Yeah.
that we often have about, what will make us happy.
Mm-hmm.
So, it challenges the idea that, our happiness depends on things like, relationships or possessions
Right.
or achievements. And I think, what A Course in Miracles is really trying to do here is to ask us to question all of these assumptions. It's almost like saying, what if true happiness is an entirely different kind of energy?
Okay.
Something that we already possess, we might have forgotten.
I like that. I like that a lot. And, it makes me think about that analogy the lesson uses. Trying to find happiness from external sources. It's like expecting a plant to flourish without good soil.
Exactly. You need to nourish the roots.
Yeah.
You need that inner foundation for anything to really grow.
Yeah. And the lesson gets really specific, too.
It does. I mean, one of the things that I find really interesting about this lesson is that it reminds us that even our relationships, which, we often see as a source of happiness,
Of course, yeah.
or those, can also become kind of a trap.
A trap.
If we're seeking validation or fulfillment.
Oh, so it's not about, avoiding relationships.
No, not at all.
Or becoming a hermit. It's more about, how we approach them.
But precisely.
Yeah.
And A Course in Miracles suggests that really it's our thoughts about a relationship, our expectations or demands, all those things that can actually block us from experiencing the love and the joy that's already there.
That's interesting. So then how? Yeah. How do we actually go about cultivating this inner happiness? Because it's one thing to say, okay, it's an inside job, but how do we do it? The lesson mentions, daily affirmation.
Yes, affirmations are a really powerful tool. And A Course in Miracles, but they're not just about, repeating feel-good phrases.
Right.
The Course actually gives us specific affirmations that are designed to challenge those ego-driven thoughts that try to tell us that happiness is out there somewhere.
Okay, can you give me an example?
Oh, absolutely. One of the affirmations from this lesson is, I choose to see peace instead of this. It's a direct call to shift our perception in any given moment, to choose a different way of seeing things.
Powerful stuff. And then there's also the mindfulness exercise.
Yeah, the mindfulness practice in this lesson, I think, goes beyond just, relaxation. It's about really creating a space to observe our thoughts without judgment, to notice when those thoughts are trying to convince us that, we need something external to be happy.
Yeah, it's like we're training ourselves to become aware of these mental traps that we often fall into. And there's even gratitude journaling, too.
Right.
It's another practice the lesson highlights. But instead of listing, the external things we're grateful for, the focus here is on internal.
Yeah, internal
sources of gratitude, like moments of peace, clarity, or forgiveness.
Forgiveness is a big one.
So we're actively training our minds to recognize that inner peace is always available to us.
Yeah, it's always.
Regardless of the circumstances.
Regardless of what's happening out there in the world.
Yeah, and that's the heart of it.
Right, really, yeah.
Lesson 29. It's not just this feel-good message. It's like a call to action.
It is. It's a call to action. It's an invitation to really actively cultivate inner peace and to recognize it as the true source of lasting happiness.
And I think what I find the most fascinating about this is that it really implies that we have way more control over our happiness than we often realize.
It is empowering. It's like we don't have to be victims to circumstances. We can actually choose our thoughts. We can cultivate that inner peace and become less reliant on the ups and downs of the external world for our well-being.
This deep dive into Lesson 29 has really given me a lot to think about.
It's a journey. And, every day offers us a new opportunity to practice these principles
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Lesson 29 from A Course in Miracles. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for Lesson 30.